from the room. The monster turned into a man, began to run as fast as he could and complain in his head about what was happening. The lizard watched the knight from behind and thought that he would not be able to find him. He tried to use teleportation by pointing his fingers at his temples, but then he was struck by a discharge that illuminated him through and through. And while he was lying on the ground, the hero thought that he had set an anti-teleportation trap, and although he had been stupid in the past, today he had broken his stupidity record. Lloyd approached the red-haired man and he looked at him with incomprehension. The young gentleman bowed and asked to be allowed to introduce himself officially, and then called himself the eldest son of Count Frontera. But then the dragon pretended not to understand what was being discussed, although he was covered in burns. The protagonist tried to keep his face and kept silent meaningfully. And while Salida pretended and wondered where he was and why he was here, saying that he wanted to leave here as soon as possible. But at that moment Xavier was preparing an attack with his blade. He swung his sword, sending a wave towards the enemy. The dragon received another blow to the back and screamed in pain again. He held his back and asked what was wrong with those two and why he was getting it, to which the hero said that he had no doubt that he was the great dragon, because ordinary people don't behave like that. Lloyd folded his hands together and said that he had given the reason from the very beginning, because he was here from the very beginning to make him a very good offer. Salida, looking upset and with tears in her eyes, said that then it was necessary to talk about it right away instead of poking him so painfully. The hero, still with a sycophantic look, said that since he tried to kill them, his servant was confused and did not know whether to fight or not. The dragon looked at the swordsman with displeasure and asked what kind of offer they had. The protagonist looked at him with a sly look and thought that they needed to start from the very bottom. After all, when the monster attacked the elves in the novel, he definitely had anger management issues, and it is obvious that it is initially impossible to build a dialogue with such a dragon, so he had to resort to brute force. When in a restaurant and a nasty man overturns a table and shouts about the noodles and black bean sauce and scolding on not so important points demands a boss, then almost everything can be solved this way.